Welcome to Bamfordrose and another forum chat. This week we're picking up on several posts that I've seen in several different areas talking about V8 Vantage front cover oil leak repair. We've touched on this subject before, just wanted to make another video on it again just to keep it current. There are several areas that the front cover can leak from. It could be the seal directly at the bottom of the front cover where it mates to the sump, which you can see in this picture of the underside of the car. Or now if we look at the engine, it could be from where each cam cover meets the top of the front cover, which is behind the pulleys here, and that's called the tri-joint. So it's quite common for the front cover to leak, and when it leaks, it's all about understanding the leak rate versus the mileage covered in a year. And if we go back to the picture of the engine, and we can see underneath the car the crossbar here, if it's leaking and the crossbar is saturated in oil and the mileage is about 2,000 or 3,000, then that's a sort of go no go. That's like, yeah, that needs fixing. If that crossbar isn't covered with oil, it's just contained locally to the bottom of the sump, then you can probably get by with an annual clean off at service sort of maintenance type care. If it comes to the point where it does need repair, as you can see from the car here, the front subframe is taken out with the engine in the subframe, and then here's a picture of front subframe with the engine removed, and here's the engine on the floor, and this one's already had the front cover done. So the whole process to take the engine out, with the frame, take the engine out of the frame, correct the front cover, put the engine back in, put the frame and engine back into the car, it's going to be about 30 hours labour. With oil, fluids, consumables and seals, that's going to be about 300 quid, somewhere in that region. You know, this job is all labour. And it's all labour because, as we've shown here, the way that we do it, the only correct way, if you're going to take the front cover off of the engine, is to do it by taking the front subframe out of the car. It's a false economy and brings quality into the job, or a question mark on over quality into the job. If you remove all the ancillaries, try and split the lower front subframe from the upper front subframe, because it never wants to come out without stripping threads. And then you've got compromised access to remove and refit the front cover, which brings into question, you know, is the repair actually going to be quality? And by the time you recover threads, you've removed ancillaries, you've done the job, you put everything back together again. It's going to be there or thereabouts, the 25 to 30 hour mark anyway. So you might as well just go straight in for doing it the proper way, which is to remove the front subframe. So I often see comments about varying prices on this job. Now, you know, if it's 30 hours labour, with VAT, let's just say the labour rate is £100 per hour. So if it's like, it's being quoted out as in the order of £3,000 labour with parts, you know, let's just call the parts £500, so £3,500. That's about the right price for doing that job properly. If the price is significantly cheaper, you really have to question the process that they're going about doing the repair job, because I've seen all too often front cover leaks on cars where supposedly it's been done in the past, but now it's leaking again. When it comes to doing a job as well, it's not just a case of putting a new seal in. You know, really you need to be double checking that the mating face of the front cover is perfectly true. And if not, you know, you need to correct that in the machine shop. Because quite often it's not just inadequate sealing that is causing the problem, it's components, and in this case the front cover, not being 100% true, that causes a problem. So there's no point rebuilding with parts which are compromised, because the leak will only happen again eventually. So, like I say, it is an expensive job. You really need to take this into account at point of purchase. I quick look underneath the car, literally just crawl under the front and have a look, because you can see that front cover joint, and you can see if the underside of the engine is wet. You know, there's some engines out there, 80 to 120k, absolutely bone dry, and if they're going to leak, they probably leak in early life, you know, up to about 30k, and afterwards, if they're dry, they'll stay dry forever, more than likely. Okay, hope that helps out explain front cover oil leaks and repair a bit more. I'll see you in the next video.